Walk into almost any plant nursery, and you will see the same promise repeated over and over again. Beautiful houseplants that supposedly need the perfect soil mix, special fertilizers, and complicated watering routines to survive. But here is something most people never realize. Some of the most stunning indoor plants on Earth don't need soil at all. In fact, certain plants grow just as happily sitting in nothing more than a glass jar filled with water. No messy pots. No fungus gnats flying around your living room. No guessing when the soil is dry. Just roots, water, light, and growth. For centuries, people quietly grew plants this way on kitchen windowsills, in simple bottles, mason jars, and old glass containers. It worked then, and it still works today. But not every plant can survive this way. Only a handful of special species have the ability to transform their roots and live entirely in water for months, sometimes even years. And once you discover them, indoor gardening becomes almost unbelievably simple. So today, we're counting down 15 indoor plants that thrive in only water. Some grow faster than you would expect. Some develop stunning roots that look like underwater forests. And a few might already be sitting in your home right now without you realizing they can live this way. Let's begin. Number 1. Spider plant. If there were ever a plant that seemed designed specifically for water growing, it would be the spider plant. This cheerful houseplant is famous for producing long arching leaves and tiny baby plants that dangle from thin stems like ornaments. Most gardeners grow spider plants in soil, but the secret hidden inside those dangling babies is what makes this plant so perfect for water culture. Each baby plant already contains tiny root beginnings waiting to grow. When you snip one off and place it in water, those roots awaken almost immediately, stretching downward into the glass as if they've been waiting for the opportunity. Within days, the root system begins to thicken, turning into a bright cluster of white strands that continue expanding week after week. Because spider plants naturally thrive in moist environments, their roots adapt easily to life underwater. Many people keep entire collections of spider plants growing in jars along a sunny windowsill, watching the roots twist through the clear glass while the striped leaves arch outward above the water. As long as the water stays fresh and the plant receives gentle indirect light, spider plants continue growing steadily, producing new leaves and eventually sending out more babies of their own. It becomes a fascinating cycle where one plant quietly multiplies into many, all living peacefully in nothing more than a jar of water. Number 2. Lucky bamboo. Few plants have become as iconic in water displays as lucky bamboo. Walk into an office building, a hotel lobby, or even a small apartment, and you might see tall green stalks rising from a container filled with water and decorative stones. Despite its name, lucky bamboo is not truly bamboo at all. It belongs to an entirely different plant family, yet it has adapted so perfectly to water that many people assume soil is unnecessary. In nature, this plant grows along riverbanks and wet tropical environments where its roots remain constantly moist. Because of that natural adaptation, its roots transition effortlessly into life submerged in water. The thick green stalks stand upright while the roots quietly spread below the surface, drawing nutrients directly from the water itself. With minimal care, the plant continues producing new leaves from the top of each stalk, slowly growing taller and stronger over time. The simplicity of lucky bamboo is what makes it so appealing. No complicated pruning schedules. No worrying about overwatering. Just a container of clean water and a little light near a window. Some people shape the stalks into spirals or braided forms, turning the plant into a living sculpture. And year after year it keeps growing, proving that sometimes the most elegant plants are the ones that ask for the least. Number 3. Arrowhead plant. At first glance, the arrowhead plant looks like a typical potted houseplant with soft green leaves shaped like tiny arrow tips. But hidden along its stems are small nodes capable of producing roots almost instantly when placed in water. These nodes give the arrowhead plant an incredible ability to transform into a water-grown vine. When a cutting is placed into a glass container, delicate white roots begin emerging within days, spreading into the water in all directions. Soon the plant becomes anchored in its new environment and continues pushing out fresh leaves at a steady pace. What makes this plant particularly fascinating is the way its growth habit changes over time. Young arrowhead plants grow upright with compact leaves, but as they mature the stems begin stretching outward and trailing gracefully from the container. The roots grow thicker and longer beneath the water, creating a delicate underwater network that mirrors the vine above. Gardeners love this plant because it responds quickly to light and attention. Place it near a bright window, and new leaves appear regularly, sometimes changing color slightly as they mature. The transformation from a simple cutting into a lush trailing plant feels almost magical, especially when you can watch the roots develop day by day through clear glass. Number 4. Coleus. Coleus is famous for its explosive color. Leaves splashed with crimson, pink, lime green, and deep purple make it look more like living artwork than a simple houseplant. Traditionally, Coleus is grown in garden beds or pots filled with soil, yet many plant lovers discover something surprising when they experiment with cuttings. Coleus roots in water with incredible speed. A freshly cut stem placed into a jar often begins producing roots in just a few days, and those roots expand rapidly into a thick cluster that anchors the plant firmly in the water. Once established, the plant continues producing new leaves that burst with color, sometimes becoming even more vibrant when grown indoors under bright light. Because Coleus grows quickly, it feels alive and energetic in a water container. New stems extend upward while the root system below grows denser and stronger. Some gardeners create dramatic displays by placing several different Coleus varieties together in a single glass container, allowing a mix of colors to grow side by side. The result looks like a miniature tropical garden rising out of water. With regular water changes and a bright spot near a window, Coleus continues thriving without soil, proving that beauty and simplicity can grow together in the same jar. Number 5. English ivy. Few plants bring the feeling of old-world charm into a room quite like English ivy. For centuries, it has climbed stone walls, wrapped around trees, and trailed from window boxes across Europe and beyond. Indoors, this classic vine adapts beautifully to life in water. When a fresh cutting is placed into a glass container, small root tips begin forming along the stem within a short time. These roots lengthen quickly, turning into pale strands that twist and weave beneath the surface. As they expand, the vine above begins stretching outward, sending new leaves along its length while searching for space to climb or cascade. Ivy thrives in the gentle humidity created by water evaporation, and its roots remain healthy as long as the water stays clean. Over time, the vine becomes longer and fuller, draping gracefully from shelves or windowsills. Some people grow several ivy cuttings together, allowing the vines to intertwine into a thick curtain of green foliage. The result feels almost like a piece of nature slowly reclaiming the indoor space. With nothing more than fresh water and soft light, ivy transforms a simple glass container into a living waterfall of leaves. Number 6. Peace lily. Peace lilies are often associated with glossy leaves and elegant white blooms rising above deep green foliage. Most people assume these tropical plants require rich soil and careful watering, yet they can adapt surprisingly well to life in water. The process begins by gently cleaning the soil away from the roots and placing the plant into a container filled with fresh water. At first, the plant may pause its growth while it adjusts, but soon new roots designed for water begin forming. These specialized roots replace the old soil roots and start drawing nutrients directly from the surrounding water. Once established, the peace lily resumes its steady rhythm of growth. New leaves unfurl one by one, and under the right conditions the plant may even produce its graceful white blooms again. Watching a peace lily live in water feels almost peaceful itself. The roots sway gently beneath the surface while the leaves stretch upward toward the light. With regular water changes and a bright indoor spot, the plant continues thriving quietly, turning a simple glass container into a calm living centerpiece. Number 7. Philodendron. Philodendrons have earned their reputation as some of the most forgiving houseplants on Earth. Their heart-shaped leaves and trailing vines seem to grow happily almost anywhere, and that flexibility extends perfectly into water culture. When a cutting containing a node is placed into water, roots quickly begin forming from that point along the stem. Within weeks, those roots become long, pale strands that spread through the container like underwater vines. As the root system expands, the plant above begins producing new leaves that unfurl slowly and elegantly. Philodendrons are especially satisfying to grow this way because the transformation happens right before your eyes. Day by day, the roots lengthen while the vine continues stretching outward in search of light. With time, the plant may trail from a shelf, wrap gently around nearby objects, or climb if given support. Many indoor gardeners grow philodendrons in clear jars simply because watching the roots develop is part of the experience. The plant becomes both decoration and living science experiment, proving how resilient nature can be when given the simplest conditions. Number 8. Begonia. Begonias often look far too delicate to survive in something as simple as water. Their leaves can be dramatic and exotic, sometimes speckled with silver spots or shaped like angel wings. Yet certain begonia varieties adapt beautifully when grown in water from stem cuttings. When a healthy cutting is placed into a jar, small roots begin emerging from the nodes along the stem. These roots gradually extend downward, while the leaves above continue capturing light and fueling growth. As the weeks pass, the plant stabilizes itself and begins producing fresh foliage from the top. In bright indoor light, the leaves maintain their rich color and intricate patterns, creating a striking contrast against the clear glass container below. Because begonias enjoy consistent moisture in their natural environment, water culture often provides exactly the conditions they need. The result is a plant that feels both elegant and surprisingly resilient. What begins as a simple cutting soon becomes a graceful display of patterned leaves rising above a delicate underwater root system. Number 9. Chinese evergreen. Chinese evergreens are beloved for their patterned leaves that blend shades of silver, green, cream, and sometimes even pink. These plants have been grown indoors for generations because of their ability to tolerate lower light conditions and occasional neglect. That same resilience makes them capable of adapting to water culture as well. When a cutting or small plant is placed in water, the roots gradually adjust and begin forming new strands suited for their aquatic environment. Once established, the plant continues growing at a steady pace, producing new leaves that emerge tightly rolled before slowly unfolding. Each leaf reveals intricate color patterns that make the plant feel almost ornamental. Over time, the root system below becomes thick and sturdy, anchoring the plant firmly within its container. With gentle light and regular water changes, Chinese evergreens can live comfortably this way for long periods, bringing subtle color and texture to indoor spaces without the complexity of soil care. Number 10. Prayer plant. Prayer plants bring something rare into the world of houseplants: movement. During the day, their beautifully patterned leaves stretch outward to catch the light, but as evening approaches, those same leaves slowly lift upward, folding together like hands in prayer. This daily rhythm continues even when the plant grows in water. When cuttings are placed into a container, roots begin forming along the nodes of the stems, allowing the plant to establish itself beneath the surface. Above the water, the leaves display striking patterns of green, red, and cream veins that make the plant look almost hand-painted. As humidity rises from the water container, the surrounding air becomes slightly more moist, creating an environment the plant naturally enjoys. With consistent light and clean water, prayer plants continue producing new leaves while maintaining their daily movement cycle. Watching those leaves open in the morning and fold again at night adds a quiet sense of life and rhythm to any indoor space. Number 11. Monstera. Monstera plants have become symbols of modern indoor design thanks to their large leaves, filled with dramatic splits and holes. While these tropical giants are usually grown in soil, their natural aerial roots reveal a secret that makes water culture possible. When a cutting containing one of those aerial roots is placed into a large container of water, the root begins adapting quickly, sending new strands deeper into the water below. Over time, the root system strengthens, and the plant begins pushing out new leaves from the top of the stem. Each leaf gradually unfolds into the iconic perforated shape that made the plant famous. Because Monstera plants grow large, they need spacious containers and plenty of light, but they can thrive surprisingly well in water when given proper care. Watching a large tropical plant like this grow from a simple jar feels almost unbelievable, as if a piece of jungle life has quietly taken root inside the home. Number 12. Tradescantia. Tradescantia is one of the fastest growing plants you can place in water. Its slender stems carry leaves striped with shades of silver, purple, and green that shimmer under indoor light. When a cutting is placed into water, roots begin appearing with remarkable speed. Within just a few days, small white strands emerge from the nodes along the stem, quickly branching into a dense root system. Above the water, the plant responds with equal enthusiasm, extending its vines outward while producing fresh leaves along each section. Because the plant grows quickly, it fills containers with trailing foliage that spills gracefully over the edges. The vibrant leaf colors contrast beautifully against the clear water below, creating a display that feels both energetic and alive. With frequent water changes and bright indirect light, Tradescantia continues expanding week after week, transforming a single cutting into a vibrant cascade of color. Number 13. Dumb cane. Dumb cane plants are known for their bold tropical leaves patterned with creamy white splashes across deep green backgrounds. While mature plants grow thick stems in pots, those stems hold a hidden ability that makes water culture possible. When sections of the stem are cut and placed in water, new roots begin forming from the submerged nodes. At the same time, fresh shoots can emerge from the top of the stem, producing brand new leaves that unfold slowly toward the light. What looks like a simple piece of stem soon transforms into a thriving young plant. As the roots expand beneath the water, the plant above grows stronger and taller, displaying its dramatic foliage once again. This ability to regenerate makes dumb cane a fascinating example of plant resilience. With patience and fresh water, even a small stem cutting can become a striking tropical centerpiece. Number 14. Dracaena. Dracaena plants bring an architectural look to indoor spaces with their tall stems and spiky leaves that fan outward like miniature palm trees. These slow-growing plants are known for their durability, and that strength allows them to adapt gradually to life in water. When a cutting or young plant is placed into a container, roots slowly begin adjusting to the new environment. The growth is not dramatic or fast, but it is steady and dependable. New leaves appear from the top of the stem while older leaves naturally fade and fall away. Beneath the surface, the root system remains calm and stable, drawing what it needs from the surrounding water. Dracaena plants often thrive for years this way, quietly adding height and structure to indoor displays without demanding much attention. Number 15. Pothos. And finally, one of the most legendary houseplants of all time. Pothos. Known for its trailing vines and heart-shaped leaves streaked with golden patterns, Pothos has gained a reputation for surviving almost anything. But its true magic appears when it is placed in water. A single cutting containing a node can produce roots within days, and those roots grow rapidly into a dense network beneath the surface. As they spread through the container, the vine above continues stretching outward, sending fresh leaves along its length. Over time, the plant becomes longer and fuller, cascading from shelves or hanging containers with effortless beauty. Many people grow pothos in glass jars simply because it is so reliable. With clean water and gentle light, the plant seems almost unstoppable, proving again and again that nature often thrives best under the simplest conditions. When you look at these plants growing quietly in nothing more than water, something fascinating becomes clear. Nature is far more adaptable than we often believe. For generations, people assumed soil was the only way plants could survive indoors. Yet these species remind us that life finds its own path when given light, water, and time. Roots twist through glass jars like underwater forests. Leaves stretch toward the window, and slowly, day by day, the plants continue their quiet work of growing. Indoor gardening doesn't always have to be complicated. Sometimes the simplest approach brings us closest to nature itself. A jar of water, a living plant, and the quiet reminder that life will always find a way to grow.